sì, anche, certo.
Vedi c'è la musica.
All right, guys, we are back again. Big protest going on in support of Jimmy Kimmel being canceled. Being canceled from pressures from Trump and the FCC. Going to go check it out. We're here on Hollywood Boulevard. Right now we're crossing the street. See here in Hollywood Boulevard. Sun's starting to set. Walking over to the theater right now. This is day 2 of the protest. Way bigger turnout today. I saw it earlier. I was at a different protest earlier over at Disney. And we're here. So we're walking over. We're going to go check it out. Hope you guys are having a good day. Staying blessed, staying positive, all that fun stuff. And we'll go see what's going on. So you got news stations out right now. And looks like the protest is dying down a bit. There's more people here. I wonder if we got to shoot off.
I can't believe it because it means I'm thinking about me. Yeah, thank you, Jimmy Kimmel.
Right? They're heavier. I rolled on those. I started on 3/4 inch. No, I know. That was my first market. Yeah, it was in Arizona.
Yeah. Got some signs over here. The fall of the Trump fascist regime.
Well, they have rallies all over. They have one at Paramount. They have one. Yeah. You like that? Sexy? What about you?
Here's an interesting guy here.
What's your sign say? Protect our First Amendment freedom of speech. I love it. Would you like that? In celebration of our First Amendment?
We got a weirdo over here. Weirdo internet guy. Y'all know who this guy is?
Jimmy Kimmel does. You see the Man Show? He's big bad.
Were you with him? No. Okay.
The Man Show's down. The Man Show is my job. I'm just out here showing.
My other cat was doing kick. I couldn't remember the name. I'm gonna download kick right now.
You got to.
Yeah.
If you really like it, would you like to have sex with me? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
This is a kick guy?
Bring Jimmy
Yeah,
back.
you like kick too?
No.
What's wrong with kick?
Well, it's just crazy. I had a friend that was on it, but
What happened with it?
it was just crazy. There's like a guy on there who there's like all these like people that were like talking to minors and stuff on there,
Oh,
and like
that kind of shit.
yeah. It's very unregulated.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, hopefully they're trying to improve it. You know, hopefully they're trying to improve it.
Stream just with no followers.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But no, hopefully they improve the moderation and stuff. But there was some crazy shit on there. But and then like some weird Russian people like killed it. Like their friend was starving and they died on stream. It was just I don't know some weird stuff on there. You know, man.
That's crazy. Wait. Are you sure?
But it's not all bad. YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not all bad though. But there's like a gamer. There's a gamer I follow on Kick that I used to watch. I still support
He's
it.
substituting. Oh, I think that's a 0, guys. I'm tagging this guy in. Who wants to have sex with him? They know they're on live stream. No one does that. We get told that a lot. We can do it, but you got to sit in the cup chair. And I might finish on your chest.
Put on a good show.
You are right now. Oh, I think you guys are like the next meeting.
You're hilarious. You're drawing an audience. You're beloved. My audience is everywhere. You guys are doing great.
We're starting to support.
Yeah. Definitely not just trying to get shot views, right? No, not by asking if you have sex.
And we know Jimmy Kimmel's way above something like this, right? Way above us.
So you have seen the Man Show.
Wait, so what's your objective here?
Well, I just trying to show support for Jimmy Kimmel.
You support him?
I do, yeah. Are you a fan of the Man Show?
So what's the match on him?
Where you got to start after.
You guys know who this guy is?
Is that where you like the black?
He was Jim with blackface. It was funny. Sometimes blackface is done tastefully in a Utah Jazz jersey can be kind of funny.
Like RDJ, that was a pretty good match. And like Drewski did good whiteface too.
You're a sincere fan of the Man Show, so am I.
I've never heard the match of that.
Okay, well, yeah, that's where you get blackface.
What do you think about that?
Hope you're all having a good day. Staying positive. I don't know who this Kick guy is. Are you guys familiar with the Kick streamers? He's out here like trying to get shock humor. Interesting guy.
Yeah, hell yeah. You guys are super cool. I appreciate it. This was
Fans of Jimmy Kimmel.
we are fans of free speech. Clearly, you guys are too, and it was nice. We're used to getting spit on a lot, but it was cool. You guys are on. Yeah, no, that's
Carlos. All I have to say is, I mean, I don't wish any harm upon Donald Trump, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't wish any harm upon him, though. I'm a pacifist. So.
Thank you, everybody. And I appreciate the mullet company. That was really sweet. Thank you. This is good. Free speech activist with a sense of humor. It's nice. Thank you, everybody. You guys have a great day.
I ordered food and then I took it for a walk.
Yeah.
Okay. So
political thing, and like
my parents did.
Hope you guys are having a good Friday. Staying blessed, you know. Out here protesting for free speech. Right to be able to be a broadcaster and say your opinion on air. Yeah, that's what we're out here for. Yeah. I work in entertainment myself, so I don't do politics on TV. I'm just an actor, stuntman, but I've never in my lifetime ever seen anybody get a demand from the federal government to apologize or be taken off the air ever. And that's all the Project 2025 FCC guy, the head of the FCC, Project 2025. They're trying to silence criticism, trying to silence free speech, and I'm not okay with it. So that's why I'm out here. We're out here in front of Jimmy Kimmel.
Back then it was guys with your friends that try to take what you have. And obviously also he's on his deathbed, he's still very I think he was in a hospital. I think he was in somewhere
How are you guys doing though? You guys having a good day? Where are you from, Carlos? Got a famous kick streamer over here. Bet you guys have heard of him.
So that's what makes the film because he worked so hard. He started the process. Sunset on the right, there's a strip club. There's a house, a gray house next to it. That was the publicist field, the second one.
Wait, you're saying
Right down the bridge. So you
Got another streamer over here.
Sunset on the right, there's a strip club, which was never there at the time. And there's a gray house right next door. That's usually like a top store. Because they rent it out of
Yeah.
and I go in there and stuff those. And also, we did an alternate pilot on a whole trip. They rented out every towns, Greenfield, Peterson. So they couldn't stay somewhere, so they rented out. So we stayed in this with Cleo and Eddie. I still remember the couple. And they had a white dude. And I'm like sitting one night, and I'm waking up, so I hear a little noise.
Yeah, see, Kegelnator. See, I didn't agree with that either with Gina Carano. But the difference is that didn't come from the federal government. Trump was also in office back then. It wasn't Obama when that happened. That was when Trump was in office. So there was nothing from the federal government that they didn't say like, oh, Disney, you need to fire Gina Carano. That's the big difference here is that this is coming from the federal government, from the FCC. The FCC chairman pressured Disney to cancel Jimmy Kimmel and demand an apology, demand a donation to Turning Point. And Jimmy Kimmel didn't even mention Charlie Kirk. He didn't even make a joke about him getting killed. He just incorrectly, assumed the shooter. He just was made a joke about him being MAGA, and he made a joke about Donald Trump and made fun of Donald Trump. He didn't really say anything that bad. And in the history of the entire USA, there's never been the federal government, except for in the McCarthy era, when there was the Red Scare and they were trying to silence communism, and they made all these blacklists and all these things, blacklisting people, just accusing them of being communists. It was a witch hunt. It's a dark chapter in the U.S. history, if you're not familiar. And if you're not, you should look it up. But we're seeing that again. We're seeing McCarthyism back again. Because we had the federal government, they're trying to censor national television. And it's not okay. I'm 36. I'm used to, people have criticized the presidents. They've criticized Obama, Bush, Clinton, Bush Sr. I was a baby when Bush Sr. was in office, but I do remember Clinton. I remember. And I remember those guys.
And I want to try to get a private conversation. He and I, we're going a matter of 4 weeks to the US,
I feel horrible for what happened to Charlie Kirk. I do. That's not why I'm out here. I'm not here protesting Charlie Kirk. I'm out here in support of free speech and free speech in our country. I'm a very strong constitutionalist. I don't even like the Democrats. I don't like the Republicans. But yeah, I'm here for support of free speech. Yeah, no, they did. That was during Trump's office, though. It wasn't Trump. Trump was the president when all that was happening, when they didn't ask him to testify. But they didn't censor Facebook. They didn't censor Twitter. They didn't do anything. They just were curious about Russian bot influence on the elections. Yeah, no, Bob. I showed up here the protest started at 4:30. I showed up here 30 minutes ago. People have already been heading out. It's starting to get dark. I appreciate you guys being on here, though. Thank you for being on here. Yeah, we had there's some famous kick streamer guy who came by doing comedy earlier. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. I don't really follow too many streamers, just a couple.
nobody there. It's like Tuesday, it's morning, it's overcast. I'm just getting a shot of it, the couch place. Started to put the camera right. And some guys had walked up, hey, what are you filming? So the guys were on top of it. In the corner of my eye, because I think they were standing to my right.
If you're in Brock.
Goes to the
It's better if they have people going through, right?
But yeah, I do respect your opinion. You know, I disagree, but I respect your opinion.
For Jimmy Kimmel.
And yeah, it's horrible what happened to Kirk, and because you know, I feel horrible for his family. Nobody deserves that. Nobody. But you know, Kimmel didn't say anything about that. It'd be one thing if he said something like violent or crazy. He didn't say anything like that. He honestly just made fun of Trump. He showed a clip of Trump. He made a joke about Trump being too busy to attend Charlie Kirk's vigil. And he just made a joke, making fun of the president, you know. People have been doing that the entire history of the country.
Yeah, it's kind of dividing, right?
Excuse me, sorry.
Don't think what's going to happen, but I think like it's brave. It's brave for me to say that. Yes. So that how sad that they did this because we can associate with you, even though both of our religions are novelty. Exactly. More of a.
It's on the corner, it's a wedge. And he's going.
I had a friend come on this show. Oh
yeah.
You know, son's popular.
Were Kimmel and Kirk mentioned in the new songs at the channel Intervision World Official? I'm not familiar with those songs or that channel. Who is that? Are they a band? Are they like a DJ? I'll have to look it up. See, I agree, Huggy Bear, I agree. And it wasn't even like something like disrespectful, or it'd be one thing if it was like disrespectful and inappropriate, you know, like I understand companies having standards, but you know, he just made a joke about the president, and he talked about what happened, but he wasn't making fun of Charlie Kirk or saying he deserved it or celebrating his death. Like everybody's always saying like, oh, these people are celebrating his death. Sure, some people are. Jimmy Kimmel wasn't one. I'm not one. I'm very sad about what happened. I don't think political violence has any place in our country. You know, I was raised in a world where people could have different opinions and talk about their different opinions on things. We all had the understanding that we're all Americans. We all wanted what's best for the country, and we all were had our freedoms that are at the core. You know, our freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to the right of property, bear arms, all that stuff. You know, that was always like the core thing that we had to protect. No, I don't agree with that. I mean, I agree with like, you know, talking about like a current event. You know, he wasn't some dead guy. Like that's not what I agree with. But I agree with like our country is losing it. Yeah, we are absolutely are. You know, you have the president calling left-wing people enemies of the state, radicals, saying how they're radicalizing everybody. They're trying to tear the country apart. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, and I'm like a left-leaning center guy. Like, I believe in workers' rights. I believe in rights for LGBTQ people, minorities. I believe in personal freedoms. But yeah, no, Tavaquat, I don't agree with like, oh, some dead guy. That is disrespectful. And thanks for calling me out on that. I didn't mean I agree with that, but I mean I agree with like you should have the right to be able to talk about something, especially if you're a public figure and you're a broadcaster, without the government cracking down on it. You know, that's crazy. People die every day. The way he's died sucking, also wild. But for a nation to lose its battle one person's kind of sad. There's a lot more going on to worry about. See, I mean, like, that I do agree with. Like, it's horrible what happened to him, but there's mass shootings every day. There was political assassinations a few months ago. Trump didn't talk about those people at all. He didn't honor those people. You know, we have mass shootings every single day, and you know, there's not enough outrage about that. But it is sad what happened to him, you know, and he was a big figure, so of course people are going to talk about it. But you know, what I think we're seeing right now is we're seeing Project 2025 using this as a reason to crack down on people that are against them and that are speaking up, and people that don't want Project 2025 to take over the country. Because, you know, that's what's gone on. Like the FCC chair, he was an author of Project 2025. And right now what they're trying to do is they want to take over the airwaves. You have Larry Ellison and David Ellison buying out Paramount. They're trying to buy Warner Brothers. They have all these subsidiaries. And Larry Ellison, or David Ellison, I forget, I get them mixed up. They're father and son. They own Oracle AI, which won a $500 billion contract. $500 billion. That's a very large amount of money. That's $500 billion for their AI company, and them and Palantir as well. But they're going to use this AI to create a surveillance state, so they can monitor everybody, know what everybody's doing, crack down on political speech, crack down on activists, and they're also using AI to replace job workers too. They don't want people, like, they want to replace as many jobs as possible. So, you know, people are going to be out of work. They're going to still be making money because they have AI to run their companies. But what they want the most is they want to crack down on free speech, and they want to crack down on organizing against them, and, you know. And if you don't believe me, look up Ellison said it in his own words. He was at a panel at a tech conference, and he was saying how he wants to see a mass surveillance state where anytime protest happens, anytime there's a crime, I mean, real crime is what, like, you know, yeah, those are horrible, but whatever is a crime, they can change. They can make They can make doing this a crime. And the second it happens, AI systems are going to go to your phones, track your phones, go to cameras, track the cameras, be able to locate you, use facial recognition to identify you. They've already been recording all of our information for decades. That's what it's been going on for decades. And they're using it to grab power, Fascist AI police state is already here. Yeah, I know. Sadly, it is. It's coming. How the tables flip. The people who talk about someone having a voice for America are cowards. It does seem like there's only one message on the news. Yeah, well, so interesting story, Huggy. The Sinclair Media. I don't know if you remember, but back in 2018, I want to say, they did this whole thing about Sinclair Media, how they own all these local news stations, ABC, Fox, all the local stations, not the big ones, but they own the local ones, and they had every single video of those stations playing side by side, and they're all reading from a script and delivering a message, and it's propaganda. And those people were the very people that demanded Jimmy Kimmel be taken off the air yesterday. Sinclair Media Group, same people, and it's owned by a family. The grandson, I think, owns it now. They are Trump supporters, and apparently when Trump was running in 2016, they had a meeting with Trump, and they said, "We'll get your message forward, Mr. Trump. That's what we're here for." But those are the same people that had this guy taken off the air, Sinclair Media. But yeah, it's they all read from a script. They all read from a script and give out a propaganda message that is now coming from the top down. It's coming from Trump and the Project 2025 people, like Stephen Miller, and then the people behind them. They have their own mentors that aren't politicians. They have there's a Christian fundamentalist guy, I forget his name. He's one of their spiritual mentors. He's the one that was quoted the other day, saying he doesn't believe women have the right to vote, and how he believes women should vote when they're married, and they should vote as a married couple. And that's what it's not Stephen Miller, but it's the guy who's the head of Pete Hegseth. He's the guy of he's in charge of the military right now. Pete Hegseth. It's his spiritual advisor. That's what these people believe in. Thanks, Nightbot. You're the GOAT. I just put Nightbot on here. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. They've always been organized spite machine. Yeah. Cancel Disney Plus, USPN. Yep. Jimmy Kimmel violated federal FCC regulation, got himself fired. Only person you can blame is Jim. What? That's interesting you say that, Nathan. What regulations did he violate? I'm not aware of a regulation saying you can't make fun of the president. Have you seen it? Have you seen what he said? He just made a joke about the president. He didn't say anything about Charlie Kirk. Forget that. If I can't vote, I don't pay taxes. Yep, I agree. Yeah, no. If they do that, don't pay taxes. And if they get rid of women's right to vote, yeah, that'd be insane. Trump won, folks. He did win. Honestly, at this point, it's easy to just ignore the news and politics. See, Cryptic. I didn't agree with Charlie, but I don't wish any ill will on him. I hope he's in a better place. I don't agree with what he said, though. He said a lot of horrible, nasty stuff. Good Lord, Trump didn't fire Kimmel. Well, Trump Trump's people did. The head of the FCC, was appointed by Trump. He was one of the authors of Project 2025. He demanded that Kimmel get taken off the air. What did Kimmel say about Charlie? See, Barry, you should look it up for yourself. You know, I can only tell you like a summary of what I remember, but it was like along the lines of like he mentioned Charlie Kirk, and he was like, oh, it's an unfortunate day in America. He said the right are determined to use any excuse to make the shooter not one of their own, which might have been a little premature. The shooter's political beliefs are pretty crazy and not really following any kind of ideology. And then he cut to he was like, oh, and then Trump is very upset about the news, essentially, and he cut to a video of Trump just like kind of bugging off, and it was just making fun of Trump, essentially. It was making fun of Trump. It was just, he was saying like how Trump didn't care or he was too busy, because Trump did skip the vigil. He went and played golf instead of going to the vigil for Charlie Kirk. So he's just making fun of Trump, saying like, oh, he doesn't actually care about Charlie Kirk. But he didn't say anything bad about he wasn't making fun of his assassination. And even if he said something bad about Charlie, like, he has the right to as a person, as an individual on television. People can criticize people as much as they want. It's just, there's that fine line where it's like might get to the line of being inappropriate, like where if you're making fun of violence or making fun of how he died or making light of it, doing something like that. But it's every right of every broadcaster to be like, oh yeah, no, like, this is what I didn't agree with Charlie. He did this. So you get fired for making fun of Trump doesn't. Well, yeah, Barry, that's the thing, is like a lot of people make fun of Trump, and he doesn't like that, and it really seems like they're trying to demonize free speech, say that stuff like that puts targets on people's backs, and they're going to use it to try to demonize people, say they're breaking the law. That's where I see it going. Hasn't gotten there yet, but the rhetoric's been heating up, It's been heating up, so. Yeah, Papa Pogie, there is a line you don't cross, 100%, Like, people can't be on the news, like, like, saying crazy stuff, calling for violence, calling for, like, there's a line, like free speech. You can't go into a crowded theater and yell out fire or say there's a bomb or something. That's not free speech. That's not protected free speech. But criticizing a public figure, that is protected free speech. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's not free speech. Like you can't go around and like dox people, because that's inciting violence, doxing, which is what a lot of people are doing right now. They're doxing people. Free speech. Yeah, free speech isn't dead. It's not dead yet. Hopefully it doesn't die. We'll see. They're trying to crack down on things.
So I raised my hand.
It's scary.
And I went down to that flat shiny.
But yeah, no. What happened to Charlie shouldn't have. That it was horrible. It was unbelievably horrible. Nobody should be killed for their opinions. But nobody should be fired for their opinions either.
Okay, thank you. Corporate powers.
Jimmy Kimmel. He's I wasn't the hugest fan of Jimmy Kimmel, but he was funny. He has a lot of good jokes, you know. I do respect him for not being bullied by Trump and for speaking truth to power, you know. Our orange government sucks. I agree. I totally agree. It's crazy too because when Trump was in office last time, you know, there's still people in the government that would check him and keep him under check. You know, you had legacy people in the military and the FBI that were like, hey, you know, you can't just like go and you can't just arrest protesters for protesting. You can't do this, but he's gotten rid of all those people. You know, it's all loyalists, subordinates. He wants loyalists all in the government. The president isn't supposed to have unchecked power. We have checks and balances. We have like the executive branch. We have the House. We have the Congress, the executive branch, the Treasury. You know, it's like they all have like their own powers, and you're never supposed to have one person be in control of everything. That's not what our country is founded upon. Even though I didn't like anything Charlie said, but in the UK, conspiracy theorist His Highness killed Charlie as he was going to call what's happening in Palestine. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. We'll find out more about the shooter's motives. Our government sucks as well, our friend. Yep. Yeah. Pardon for it. Charlie was speaking. That's free speech. Let me learn. I know he was exercising free speech, and you know he didn't have the right to die. But see, that's the thing. Grandies is most leftists aren't violent people. I'm not a violent person, and I'm not even like some crazy like Democrat guy. Like I'm in the center, left leaning. I am leftist because I'm very pro workers' rights, which is a left wing ideology. And honestly, more people on the right should be pro workers' rights because that affects everybody. Pro union, pro worker, pro rights for minorities, LGBTQ. Like, people should have the right to get married if they're gay. But that's because I believe in freedom. I believe in personal freedom. I think that's what our country is all about, is personal freedom. So when people are saying like, oh, they shouldn't be able to get married because they're two women or they're two dudes or they're trans people, and then people have the right to be trans person and transition and not be harassed, be beat up, be threatened. So that's the stuff I believe in. I believe in freedom, essentially. And this day and age, that's the left-wing position. America lost, Putin won control through his puppet Trump. Yeah, Gloria, yeah. No, so my theory is that Trump was in a lot of debt back in like the 90s. A lot of failed real estate, failed casinos, and a lot of banks wouldn't give him loans anymore. So he went to the Russian oligarchs, like the Russian mafia under Putin, which Putin, if you don't know, Putin controls all the Russian mafias. Like they all are, he controls all of them. Like he's the number one guy, and he's one of the wealthiest people in the world, Putin. And if what he says goes, and I think Trump went to them, got loans, and also I think he laundered money for these oligarchs through his businesses, and then they bankrupted the businesses to cover the trails. So he owes his people a lot, and I feel like that's kind of like what's been going on, is he's been making good on his loans and bailouts he had back in the 90s and early 2000s. No, I'm not a Russian expert, but those are just things like, you know, if you do some research, you can. It's stuff I looked into a long time ago. But, you know, Putin is the #1 guy in Russia. That's why he's been in power for so long. He executes people that don't agree with him. The Russian mafia doesn't have any power over him. They answer to him. And that's why Russia is as screwed up as it is. It's oligarchs run everything. And I feel like Trump, that's what Trump wants. He wants the oligarchs to run America and wants all of us to be powerless, you know. A lunatic off Charlie for speaking freely, you know, happens to be president, had Jimmy fired. Yep, here for it. That's exactly what. The guy who killed Charlie Kirk was a lunatic. He wasn't a sane person. You know, he's very unhinged, chronically online, spending his life on Discord channels and all this stuff. And that's the crazy thing is people always try to find these like motivations and ideologies for mass shooters and stuff, when a lot of times they're just crazy. There's not a rhyme or reason, you know. You sound as uneducated as the unkept was of your hair and face, dude. I appreciate it. I like my hair. I was wearing a hat earlier, so I got a little bit of hat hair. But nothing wrong with unkept hair. He says, I think, bruh, this is all propaganda you believe. The Russiagate believer. Well, I'm saying I think because I'm thinking while I'm talking. I don't have like a computer in front of me. I'm just talking to you guys. And I can't look up information right now because I'm streaming, so. You're so dumb because you're so misinformed. You're part of the problem. Yeah, right. He was a leftist. Yeah, I know. He probably was like, you know, he had some left-wing beliefs, but he came up in a very conservative family, Republican family. He's a gun nut. But he was unhinged. He was like not a sane person, you know. So, like, what do you think about like the shooters or the shooter, the assassin who killed the Democratic lawmakers? He was right wing. Do you think he represents all right wingers? I don't think that. Just like how the shooter doesn't represent all left wingers. There's fringes on either side. There's fringes on the right, fringes on the left. Wish I had hair. Oh, RJ. Nothing wrong with being bald. Nothing wrong with being bald. Bald's a look. You look lovely, man. Oh, Barry, I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll give you a little Korean heart. The heart by your name. Then don't say shit you don't know facts about while online spreading wrong info. Well, I'm not. That's what things I'm not sure about. I'll tell you, but I'm just talking about my opinion. I appreciate you watching that, Jordan. Nope. Liv's trying to blame GOP. Yeah, I know, and that was, I don't agree with that. I think it was wrong for people to jump to conclusions before they even found out who he was or what he believed in. I don't think that was right. But the people that are saying, it's like, see, what I see online, I see all these people who are calling out, they're saying like, oh, like the left are violent, they're extremists, they want everybody dead. But they don't want to call out the right, and they don't want to call out the extreme right assassin that killed the lawmakers. They want to call out people like Dylan Ruth, who killed the black church, who is like a racist KKK member. But I don't think all Republicans are KKK members. But, you know, that's like the extreme fringes of the right. And just how like things like Antifa are the extreme fringes of the left. Like, and that's the problem with our country, is that there's more than two types of people. Like, people don't just have two different beliefs. There's like a wide spectrum of beliefs in our country. But, you know, people try to just lump people into like one side or the other. Are you gay? Serious question. I'm not gay, but I have a lot of gay friends. I love gay people. They're awesome. Both sides' argument is done, bro. You know, the vast majority of violence, especially political violence, comes from left. See, at Primal, that's just simply not true. It's not true. It comes from both sides. And, yeah, that's not true. Like, also, like, the guy who attacked Nancy Pelosi, or tried to attack Nancy Pelosi and attacked her husband, almost killed her husband, that was a right-winger. And people like Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., was making fun of that, which wasn't okay. It's not okay to make fun of violence or laugh about violence, but that's what he did. It's not true, because there's a lot of violence that's done by right-wing people that are extremists. And not all right-wing people are extremists. Just like how not all left-wing people are extremists either. But there is the guy who shot up the black church, Dylan Roof. There's the guy who shot up the Jewish synagogue. There is the guy who assassinated those Democratic lawmakers. There was the guy who attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband. Those are all right-wing people. They're extremists. Not all. I have a lot of Republican and right-wing friends. They're not extremists. But it's not. It's disingenuous to believe like it's not on your side just because you believe in it. Like, there's violent people on the left. There's violent people on the right. That's just being objective about what's going on. Why does it matter if he is gay? Who gives a shit? You don't need to know. I don't need to know what he does behind closed doors. We don't need to accept this shit in today's time. Oh, thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. Thank you. I respect to you for saying that, Jordan. Respect. I'll give you a little Korean heart too. I respect you, Jordan, for saying that. I agree. Who gives a shit if somebody's gay or not? Bro, 95% is from the left. Be real. Stop lying to yourself. Be real. I mean, it's not though. Like, look up, like, it, like, and that's the thing, is you can go back and forth saying which side is more violent, which side is not. The thing we should all agree on is violence isn't okay. Violence isn't okay, but part of doing that is you have to have some introspection on the stuff you believe in and the people in the country, you know, and realize it's not just coming from one side or the other. It's coming from both sides. And in my opinion, people like Trump are instigating it because they want us to be against each other. They want us fighting each other because they want to distract us from what the people at the top are doing, the oligarchs. What they're doing is they're hoarding all the wealth, and they want control, they want wealth, they want power. They want to bring us back to like the times, like in the medieval times, where we were all serfs and there's lords, and you know, we had to pay ridiculous amounts of taxes and work for lords, and the individual person didn't have any power, any control, any power to vote people out of office. That's what they hate. They don't want to be voted out of office. People who love power don't want to be voted out of office. And that's what they're trying to do. And that's why you see these like tech companies, like, you know, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. They all used to be Democrat, and now they are all suddenly MAGA Republican because they're like, oh, these guys, they are actually helping us create monopolies so we can have these large amounts of wealth. They're getting power fantasies where now they want to have, like, you know, like even more power, political power. Elon Musk is trying to influence elections in Europe and all this stuff. Like, at a certain point, money is not enough for these people. They want power, and they realize Trump's gonna give it to them, you know. So that's why all of a sudden now they're like, oh yeah, Trump, yeah, MAGA. When like 10 years ago, they were like all about Obama and the Democrats because that was their audience at the time. Violence isn't okay, bruh. Okay, renounce the devil, repent your sins, believe in the gospel. I do believe in God, and My girlfriend's a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I didn't grow up in the church though, so I have a lot of like, you know, church hurt kind of stuff, especially with like the fundamentalism going on. But there's a lot of really good Christians out there, and a lot of I like that new politician in Texas who's a Christian, who's running as a Democrat, he's saying the same stuff like I've always said, where this isn't the left and right thing, it's a top and down thing. And he's trying to get people to realize that these people on the top are trying to divide us. And he's putting God first, which I think is cool. And like, you know, showing people that, you know, there are Christians that aren't these like fundamentalist Project 2025 types, you know. I'm a nice, good person, but bad people I hate. I bet you are a good person. And yeah, I don't like bad people either. That's the thing, though. We all have bad sides, you know. There's like we all have like a bad side, and that's like why you need to have introspection and kind of understand that everybody has a dark side, and that's why you have to be honest with yourself and you know, reject that and learn to reject that and learn to admit when you've messed up, when you've screwed up, you know. Yeah, like I saw an interesting video. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was talking about how we all have dark sides, and that's why you have to be introspective. And he was saying, unfortunately, creative types are usually the people that are introspective, because when you do art, you look inside yourself and you think about the world, you think about life, and how people need to do more of that, you know. The problem with kids today is words have no meaning to them. Jordan, I totally agree with you there, because I'm a gamer. I play VR games. I play like a VR game called Pavlov VR. It's like a VR Counter-Strike, and I love the game. But there's some people, I play with some young people that are like early 20s, you know, older teenagers, and a lot of them are like, they're like chaotic. Like they believe in being like crazy and saying crazy things just for the sake of being crazy. And they don't believe like the stuff they say has any kind of power or any kind of influence, you know. They're just very like, and a lot of that comes from them being disenfranchised with the system, you know. It's really hard for young people now. I'm a millennial, it's hard for millennials, it's even harder for Gen Z, Gen Alpha. You know, they're seeing how wages haven't gone up, how rent just keeps getting more and more high, jobs keep going down, and they feel like the system isn't for them anymore, and they're mad and they're bitter, you know. But no, I've had some talks with them where they say some crazy stuff, and I'm just like, hey man, like, you know, words have meaning, and you know, there's like even says in the Bible, like there's power in the tongue. And that's why, you know, that's why I don't like Trump. He says a lot of crazy stuff. He's the president. He has a huge voice. And I've been getting somehow I wound up on his email list like 10 years ago. And I've gotten all of his emails over the years where he's just like, the radical left, they're the enemy, they hate you. And they personalize it. They're like, the radical left hates you, Max. They hate you. I want to talk to you. I want to meet you. I'm Donald Trump. Donate to my campaign. Donate now, and you can be on my special list. You can be on my gold tier. Like weird stuff like that. And but the biggest thing I always see is he's just like, they hate you. The radical left hates you. And that's what they want. They want us to feel like the other side hates me. And that's because they want to divide us. Point being, no one can be in the middle now. There's clearly good and evil, Jesus and the devil, heaven and hell. Well, that's why I'm on the side of the working class. I'm on the side of regular people. I'm a regular person. I'm not some billionaire. That's the thing. 99% of the people in the country are not billionaires, and never will be a billionaire. Being a billionaire is extremely hard to do. You have to own a huge company, and even then, if you own a big company, it's hard to be a $1 billion company, and it's hard to have a net worth of $1 billion. But these billionaires, there's like 5 people that control like 90% of the wealth. That's insane. Like, nobody should have that much control over a society, over an economy. Like, you have the power to do whatever you want and to change the economy however which way you want. In the hands of 5 people. Do you get rich? Nightbot doing this stuff. See, I just added Nightbot just to moderate the chat, because I did this yesterday and I had some like racist people in here saying like racial slurs and stuff, so I didn't want that again, so I put Nightbot on here. It's free. But yeah, I mean, if you like the stream, feel free to like, subscribe. I usually just talk about movies and entertainment, but this is entertainment related. It's Jimmy Kimmel. And I am passionate about politics. I don't usually talk about it publicly, but I felt like there's a good crossover here with politics and entertainment. And P.S. I really don't give a rat's house if it's me off their channel. I could care. There's thousands of dummies out here. Got all kinds of time. There's a lot of dummies. There's people who hate God and people who don't want no God and people who want God. That is true. That is true. Jimmy, who I keep hearing about this Jimmy. Who's Jimmy they talking about? Jimmy Kimmel, bro. You haven't heard of Jimmy Kimmel? I'm not even like some diehard Jimmy Kimmel fan. Like, I think he's funny. He can be funny. And I work in entertainment. I'm a stuntman. I have like, actor friends, and that's the thing, most actors, we're just like barely making like a living out here. It's hard. But I've always heard working for Jimmy Kimmel is a lot of fun. I've heard it's a positive experience, and he hires a lot of like non-famous actors to do like little bit parts and skits and stuff. And there's a big crew. There's a huge crew that works for Jimmy Kimmel. And I don't know if you heard, but the movie industry and the film industry is struggling right now in LA. A lot of that stuff went to Europe because they have things like national health care. So the movie studios don't have to pay health care. Over here, if they shoot here, they have to pay health care for their workers. So a lot of people are out of a job right now that work for Jimmy Kimmel. That's not good. But he is funny. Like I like Guillermo. I think he's funny. And he has his moments. I don't always think Kimmel's the funniest guy, but he has some funny moments. I thought he was a good Oscar host. I did like Conan better though. I'm a Conan O'Brien fan. I'm a diehard Conan O'Brien fan. So I was stoked when Conan O'Brien hosted the Oscars this year. What did he do? Is he like Seinfeld? Did he do stand-up? Yeah, he did stand-up. He was on a show called The Man Show, too. Got a motorcyclist over here. Starting to walk back right now. Watching Johnny Carson reruns. Yeah, Johnny Carson was the GOAT. He was the GOAT for sure. I heard he got shot. I heard Jimmy Kimmel got shot, but who is he? Jimmy Kimmel didn't get shot. That's the thing, though, is some of these people they're threatening. They are threatening violence against Jimmy Kimmel and against a lot of public figures. Because, like, and that's the thing. Not every Republican is like this, but the very extremist types that I was talking about earlier, they're going crazy over Charlie Kirk, and they're saying, oh, eye for an eye, we need to kill one of theirs. We need to kill, like, Hassan Piker. We need to kill Whoopi Goldberg. We need to kill, like, you know, they want to kill, like, a lefty. They want revenge. Which isn't okay. And I'm not saying all conservatives are like that. Not all Republicans are like that. But there is a extremist fringe of conservatives that are like that. And there's an extremist fringe of leftists that are like that too. They did Conan dirty. Yeah, they did do Conan dirty. I was so mad about that. Fucking Jay Leno. Conan O'Brien's one of the funniest guys ever. He's brilliant. He was the best when he was the best Simpsons years were when Conan was writing for the Simpsons. And I watch his podcast time to time. His podcast is hilarious. And it's really interesting too. Quit your kidding, lies. Get the rhetoric and see what happens. Yeah, see, inner city, that's a threat of violence. And I'm just, you know, calling out threats of violence that I've seen recently online. I just thought right wing. No, it's both sides. But that's the thing. It's not everybody, and they want to make it seem like it's everybody. It's not everybody. It's just like a fringe. Not every Republican's a fucking Proud Boy or a Patriot Front. You know, the Patriot Front people that were marching in Huntington Beach a few days ago, dishonoring Charlie Kirk, going about saying, white man rise up, white man rise up. And it turned out it was a white man that killed Charlie Kirk. At the time, they thought it was a minority or a trans person, because there's this whole, like, trans hysteria going on right now. Like, oh, it's the trans are killing everybody. It's crazy. But they're not all like that. Yeah, Tony, they're on both sides. Antifa's on the left. Patriot Front, Proud Boys, they're on the right. But that's the problem is people are doing what you are doing, where you're lumping everybody into one group. There's more than two types of people in this country. Like, people have a wide spectrum of beliefs and things they believe in. It's not just two types of people. But they just want to be like, oh, you're side A or side B, you're left, you're right. And if you're left, you're the enemy. And if you're right, you're the enemy. But people have a lot more in common than they know. And that's the problem too, is people are so online these days. I'm saying this talking to you on a stream. People need to get outside and talk to each other and get to know each other, and, you know, and realize we all have a lot in common. You know, we all want the same things. We want a good life. We want a good job. We want, like, to have a stable home, be able to take care of our families, feed our kids, have a career. You know, pretty much every human being you talk to, we all have similar interests and similar things in common. You know, most people believe in God. Not everybody does. They have the right to not believe in God. Everybody enjoys having dinner with each other, sharing food, breaking bread. People love music. People love their families. They love their friends. So I'm by the Egyptian Theater. This is owned by Netflix right now. Netflix store. This is the Grauman's Egyptian Theater. I wish I got out to that protest earlier when it was busier, because I saw it earlier when I got off the train. There's a lot of people. It was still fun though. It was good to go support. Good to go support. I'm wearing my SAG-AFTRA Strong shirt. Which SAG, if you don't know, is the union for actors. Union for stunt people too. They also represent broadcasters and dancers, musicians, puppetry people who do puppetry. And Jimmy Kimmel's a member of SAG-AFTRA. He's also a member of like the WGA. He's a writer. A lot of WGA writer people came out earlier. I was actually involved in the entertainment strikes a few years ago. I was a captain for SAG at Netflix. So I was out there every day on the picket lines, helping run the picket lines and all that stuff. It was a crazy time. Crazy time. But had a lot of stuff I had to process from that it took me a while to get over. It was nuts. You know, we had big crowds. People would harass us. We got death threats from people. Sometimes people would, like, you know, disgruntled workers would, you know, rev their cars at us or like try to. One guy almost got hit. Somebody did get hit on one picket line. I wasn't there. Things have changed since COVID. Most of what you spoke of is over. Yeah. I mean, I think people still are like getting over the trauma though of COVID. It's a lot of stuff that it was like a big group trauma on the world, you know, and people are just starting to get over it, you know. But you sound okay. I will follow. So do you walk around doing tours? Yeah, that's what I usually do. I usually just walk around talking about LA, talking about Hollywood, talking about news and entertainment, you know, answering questions. People have questions about movies and TV, the film business, talk about different stories in my career. But yeah. But today I went over to Jimmy Kimmel to show the protests and stuff because it is entertainment related. It's political. I don't usually do politics, but it is entertainment related. And it's a hot button story right now, you know. Figured it's something to talk about. I took like a while off of streaming. I was moving, had in between jobs, so I took a few months off, but I'm back doing it again and trying to be regular and be consistent. But yeah, no, thanks for the follow, Distance Dancer. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on Hollywood Boulevard right now. Walking on Hollywood Boulevard. Got some stuff on my camera. There we go. Not as crazy looking. It's pretty hot too tonight. It's very humid. Sweating. But I actually gotta go. I gotta go drive out to Santa Anita for a job I'm doing tomorrow. It's not movie related. It's a second job I've gotten because the movie industry has been very slow, and hoping it'll pick up soon because I want to get back to work. I love working on movies. It's been my career and my passion for 15 years. So, you know, it's been a tough couple of years for the movie industry. A lot of stuff's been shooting overseas. People have been struggling, losing their jobs, losing houses, you know. But I'm still here. Good luck with your job interview. Oh, thank you, Distance. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, you guys have a good night. Appreciate you guys watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I do want to get more creative with these things. Like, I'm going to post some stunt stuff, stunt clips, you know. I have a friend, his name's Fernando Matos. He has cerebral palsy. He's a sim racing driver, but his YouTube channel's been killing it. So he's been giving me some tips. And you guys should look him up too. It's Cerebral Palsy Driver is his channel. Awesome guy. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good night.